get too technical. So today I just wanted to give some of my thoughts about the Samsung trifold. So we all know that Samsung is going to release their trifold. It will be coming to the United States of America, just not this year. It said like early next year, so maybe January or February of next year. I do think it's a real cool design. You know, they're taking a folding phone that can fold into a regular size device and then make it like a 10-inch tablet, like having a little tablet in your hand. So I do think that I think it's a nice, it's going to be a nice device to have. Of course, it's going to be pricey. So do know that if you're a person out there and you want to go pick this up, it's going to be pricey. And I have looked online, and AT&T will be carrying this trifold device, but I'm not interested in getting a device because, like I said, it's going to be pricey, and there's no way I'm going to get an installment plan for a trifold. I am A-okay with my Z Fold right now, but this is what it's going to look like, as you can see, when it's all the way opened up. Not bad, not bad. And then when you close it, it's going to look like a regular Z Fold device on the outside display. But I'm a little confused to why they called this the trifold, because this device is only opening twice. You're only able to use it in this view, in this view, and then open it up to the bigger screen. They shouldn't have called it the trifold. If they wanted to call it the trifold, they would have needed to have it open 3 times. Now, Huawei, even though they're not a market in the United States of America, they have a device that does open 3 times. The Huawei device has the outer display, then you can open it to a view like this to have a regular size foldable, but then you can also open it again and then have that bigger display. You know, if you get this device, you're just stuck with using the outer display and then having that big 10-inch display, and that could get hefty on your hands. But it's a cool idea. I just don't think they should have named it the trifold, because theirs is really not opening 3 times. Tri is 3, and that's opening only 2 times. This opens only once, so that's why it's called the Z Fold, which it just folds, which is understandable. But here they kind of misnamed this device, even though, like I said, it's cool technology. It's basically a Z Fold on steroids, a trifold. I can tell you though, now if you are going to get this device, this is going to be amazing for watching videos, YouTube content, playing games on this device. Some people are already worried about, oh, how's it going to hold up? I feel like it'll hold up fine. Just like the Z Fold device, the Z Fold 7 is holding up fine for me. And I've had this for a while now. You just have to be careful with what you do with your device. Not saying you have to baby it, but you do want to throw a screen protector and a case on. And then that's another thing that worries me about that device. Like, who is going to come out with a case for that phone? I'm sure a lot of people are trying to, but the Z Fold 7 cases are already expensive. So just think about them coming out with a case for the trifold. That might be even more expensive, you know, because maybe they'll have to come out with 3 separate cases, one for the outer display, then a case for the middle. Because one downfall with Samsung's trifold is that when you fold it, this outer display is left in the middle. When Huawei did it, all of the back is just a phone back, which is amazing. Their screens fold on top of each other. Samsung, they have it to where when it closes, hold on, let me see if I can find something with it closed. When it closes, you're dealing with this screen wide open on the outside, and I would be scared to sit that device down on the outside on a bare table. So yes, you'll have to get a screen protector for that outer display, which that outer display turns into the regular size display. So you have a back here, then the screen, then another back. And there's folds like this, but with Samsung's device, you can only fold it one way. It will not, you can't force both sides to fold. With the Huawei device, you can fold either side, no problem. But, you know, about time Samsung, I guess, stepped their game up. And they did put a nicer battery in here. And that leads me to another concern is, see, they were able to put a 5,000 milliamp something battery in the trifold. They weren't worried about that. I just don't understand why we couldn't get it in a Z Fold device, you know, if you can already do it. I guess they just held the higher battery for the newer device, but they were capable of doing it because, as you can see, they're coming out with a bigger battery for this device. So I feel like they just kind of played us in our face when they came out with these Z Fold 7s with still having the 4,040 milliamp battery when they could have gave us more battery, but they didn't, because as you can see, they have the trifold with having a bigger battery. But that's to be expected because this is basically a screen on the back and then a 10-inch screen on the inside. So yes, that would need more power, and that's good that they did that, you know, because if they was to make this device and gave it a 4,040 milliamp battery, that would really been a waste of money for people to go out there and buy. Like I said, it looks amazing. It does look amazing, but it's gonna be pretty pricey, you know. They already have some on eBay for $4,999.98. That is mind-blowing for a device. But this is what it looks like on the back, like I was saying. So you're getting the camera side here, then the middle is your screen, which is going to fold and be this display here, and then you get another side that's just the back, and then when you open it up, you get all of that you get that 10-inch screen display with the cutout camera. So that's going to be good for some gaming, watching content, reading books, but that's just going to be a little hefty for people that want to use this device. That's something that you would not want to walk around with it unfolded all the time. You would just want to use that when you're in a sit down position or at home. But the good thing with this, you do get a case, so that's good. You get a charging brick and then charging cable, which that's to be expected, I guess, when you're paying so much more money for this device. I didn't get to see what kind of processor this is running. Let me see if I can go find some of the specs real quick. Like I said, that's still a cool design. I just feel like they misnamed the product because technically it's only really folding and it's only really opening twice, not 3 times. But I'm going to give them I'll give them their kudos for even coming out with something like this. So pretty much this is, the main display is 10 inches. It's an AMOLED, of course. The cover display is 6.5 inches, just like the cover display size on your Z Fold 7. Okay, so it's going to have the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy, pretty much like what your Z Fold 7 has. It's going to have 16 gigs of RAM, 500. So this is only going to come in 512 gigabytes of storage, or 1 terabyte. So you will not get a 256 gigabyte choice. So with that being said, you're going to have to pay even more money because it's starting at 512 and it goes up to 1 terabyte. It'll be running Android 16 with One UI 8. The rear camera is a 2000 megapixel main camera, 12 megapixel ultra wide, 10 megapixel telephoto, 3x optional zoom. And then the front camera is a 10 megapixel cover screen, which the cameras are the exact same cameras that the Z Fold 7 has. So you're not going to get any kind of better cameras there. The battery, 5,600 milliamp battery. So see, if this can have a 5,600 milliamp battery, why couldn't the Z Fold 7 at least have a 5,200 milliamp battery? Because it's capable, they're capable of doing that. They're showing it off right now. The charging is going to be 45 watt wired charging, 15 watt wireless charging. Still okay for charging, not the best. The hinge is titanium. The frame is armor aluminum. It's Gorilla Glass 2. It's dust and water resistant. The weight is 309 grams. And it's going to be 10.9 ounces. It'll have stereo speakers, side-mounted fingerprint scanner, no fingerprint in the display. Overall, that's, like I said, that's not bad for them to be coming out with their first trifolding device. You're going to have a lot of people out there wanting to pick this thing up, but the people that want to buy this thing, I just hope you guys buy it smartly. Don't go waste all your money on this device. And that's another thing. I wonder what their trade-ins, with them coming to the United States of America, I wonder what their trade-in value would be for this. Would you be able to trade in 2 phones to get this? Would you be able to trade in a Z? Say if somebody wanted to get this, if they had a Z Fold and an S25 Ultra, would they be able to take the Z Fold 7 and an S25 Ultra and give you enough off to cut the price even lower? Or do you have to have 2 folding devices just to get this? Or could you get it with just trading in 1 folding device? That's what I'm eager to see, even though I'm not in the market to get one, because I don't have that kind of money, and I'm not gonna put that a trifold on an installment plan. It doesn't make sense. I'm trying to get off of the ones I'm already on. That would just be way too much money. But I mean, the people out there that want to do it, hey, it's there. Just be smart with how you decide to spend your money for this device, because it is pricey. It's going to be pricey. Here's a better photo of it right there, as you can see. But yeah, I'm just eager to see if they're going to have any trade-in value deals, and what would the carriers give off for this device. Because like I said, I did go online and look up. I said, will AT&T be carrying this device? And they said yes, early next year. So that's not bad. So if you want it, if you just had to get it on your carrier, then you will be able to get it on your carrier. I just I'm interested to see what Samsung would have to offer for someone coming from maybe a Z Fold 7 that really wants to go get that device. And then I'm ready to see a lot of other people's videos that actually go out there and get the device and see how they like it and see if it's a fail or not. I don't think it's going to be a fail. I don't think it's going to be a fail. I think it's a cool idea. I just don't know how durable maybe it'll be, and what the cases would be for it, and what they would look like for it. You know, of course, it probably ain't, it's not going to break, but you do have the capability of it, the screen bleeding. That's something you have to deal with when you get folding devices, because of course the outer display is glass, tempered is glass, but these inner displays are just soft. So you would have to be careful and make sure nothing punctures that big inside display. You have to make sure no one sits on the inside display. You have to make sure you're closing that up. And then another thing is that is adding a lot more thickness to the device than your Z Fold 7. So that's something else you would have to worry about if you're worried about getting a device and putting it in your pockets, since now a lot of phone brands are starting to go with the slimmer look and feel with their devices. They've kind of gotten away from the more heftier look and feel. But I do like a hefty device. I just don't know how well that'll look in your pocket, because instead of it being folded twice, you have 3 different screens that's folded and sandwiched together. So that's just some of my thoughts. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. Do you think it's going to be a flop? Do you think it's going to be good? I do believe a lot of people will go out and pick up this device that are really, really into it. So in the comment section below, let me know your thoughts, and I'll catch you back in the next video. I'm out.